Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Greatly appreciate you joining me today. Before we continue with reading Deuteronomy, our morning prayer. Father, as I read and receive your word, may it deeply be rooted in me, so when difficulty comes, it will be your word that encourages and strengthens me. Amen. Alright, as I mentioned, we're continuing Deuteronomy, so we're going to go to chapter 9. Victory by God's grace. Hear, O Israel, today you are about to cross the Jordan River to occupy the land belonging to nations much greater and more powerful than you. They live in cities with walls that reach to the sky. They are strong and tall, descendants of the famous Anakite giants. You've heard the saying, who can stand up to the Anakites? But the Lord your God will cross over ahead of you like a devouring fire to destroy them. He will subdue them so that you will quickly conquer them and drive them out, just as the Lord has promised. After the Lord your God has done this for you, don't say to yourselves, the Lord has given us this land because we are so righteous. No, it is because of the wickedness of the other nations that he is doing it. It is not at all because you are such righteous, upright people that you are about to occupy their land. The Lord your God will drive these nations out ahead of you only because of their wickedness, and to fulfill the oath he had sworn to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will say it again, the Lord your God is not giving you this good land because you are righteous, for you are not, you are stubborn people. Remembering the gold calf. Remember how angry you made the Lord your God out in the wilderness, from the day you left Egypt until now. You have constantly rebelled against him. Remember how angry you made the Lord at Mount Sinai when he was ready to destroy you. That was when I was on the mountain receiving the tables of stone inscribed with the covenant that the Lord had made with you. I was there for 40 days and 40 nights, and all the time... Sorry, I lost my spot. I ate nothing and drank no water. The Lord gave me the covenant, the table on which God himself had written all the words he had spoken to you from the fire on the mountain. At the end of the 40 days and nights, the Lord handed me the 2 stone tablets with the covenant inscribed on them. Then the Lord said to me, go down immediately because the people you led out of Egypt have become corrupt. They have already turned from the way I commanded them to live and have cast an idol for themselves from gold. The Lord said to me, I have been watching this people, and they are extremely stubborn. Leave me alone so I may destroy them and erase their name from under heaven. That I will make a mighty nation of your descendants, a nation larger and more powerful than they are. So I came down from the fiery mountain, holding in my hands the 2 stone tablets of the covenant. There below me I could see the gold calf you had made in your terrible sin against the Lord your God. How quickly you had turned from the path the Lord had commanded you to follow. So I raised the stone tablets and dashed them to the ground. I smashed them before your very eyes. Then for 40 days and nights I lay prostrate before the Lord, neither eating bread nor drinking water. I did this because you had sinned by doing what the Lord hated, thus making him very angry. How I feared for you, for the Lord was ready to destroy you. But again he listened to me. The Lord was so angry with Aaron that he wanted to destroy him. But I prayed for Aaron, and the Lord spared him. I took your sin, the calf you had made, and I melted it in the fire and ground it into the fine dust. I threw the dust into the stream that cascaded down the mountain. You also made the Lord angry at Taberah, Massah, and Kibroth Hadavah, and at Kadesh Barnea the Lord sent you out with his command, go up and take the land I have given you. But you rebelled against the command of the Lord your God and refused to trust him and obey him. Yes, you have been rebelling against the Lord as long as I have known you. That is why I fell down, lay before the Lord for 40 days and nights when he was ready to destroy you. I prayed to the Lord and said, O sovereign Lord, do not destroy your own people. They are special possession, redeemed from Egypt by your mighty power and glorious strength. Overlook the stubbornness and sin of these people, but remember instead your servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you destroy these people, the Egyptians will say, 'The Lord destroyed them because he wasn't able to bring them to the land he has sworn to give them.' Or they might say, 'He destroyed them because he hated them. He brought them into the wilderness to slaughter them.' But they are your people and your special possessions, whom you brought from Egypt by your mighty power and glorious strength." Chapter 10. New tablets of stone. At that time the Lord said to me, "Prepare 2 stone tablets like the first ones, and make a sacred chest of wood to keep them in. Return to me in the mountain, and I will write on the tablets the same words that were on the ones you smashed. Then place the tablets in the sacred chest, the Ark of the Covenant." So I made a chest of acacia wood and cut 2 stone tablets like the first 2, and I took the tablets up the mountain. The Lord again wrote the terms on the covenant, the 10 commandments, on them and gave them to me. They were the same words the Lord had spoken to you from the heart on the fire of the mountain as you were assembled below. Then I came down and placed the tablets in the Ark of the Covenant which I had made, just as the Lord had commanded me. And the tablets are still there in the Ark. The people of Israel set out from the wells of the people of Jachan and traveled to Mazerah, where Aaron died and was buried. His son Eleazar became the high priest in his place. And they journeyed to Gudgoda, and from there the Jotbathah, a land with brooks of water. At the time the Lord set apart the tribe of Levi to carry the ark of the Lord's covenant, to minister before the Lord, and to pronounce blessings in his name. These are still his duties. This is why the Levites have to share inheritance reserved for them among the other Israelite tribes. The Lord himself is their inheritance, as the Lord God had told them. As I said before, I stayed on the mountain in the Lord's presence for 40 days and nights, as I had done for the first time. And once again the Lord yielded to my pleas and didn't destroy you. But the Lord said to me, "Get up and lead the people into the land I swore to give their ancestors, so they may take possession of it." A call to love and obedience. And now, Israel, what does the Lord your God require of you? He requires you to fear him, to live according to his will, to love and worship him with all your heart and soul, and to obey the Lord's commands and laws that I am giving you today for your own good. The highest heavens and the earth and everything in it all belongs to the Lord your God. Yet the Lord chooses your ancestors as the objects of his love, and he chose you, their descendants, above every other nation, as is evident today. Therefore cleanse your sinful hearts and stop being stubborn. The Lord your God is the God of gods and the Lord of lords. He is the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and takes no bribes. He gives justice to orphans and widows. He shows love to the foreigners living among you and gives them food and clothing. You too must show love to foreigners, for you yourselves were once foreigners in the land of Egypt. You must fear the Lord your God and worship him and cling to him. Your oaths must be in his name alone. He is your God, and then the one who is worthy of your praise, the one who has done mighty miracles that you yourselves have seen. When your ancestors went down to Egypt, there were only 70 of them. But now the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars in the sky. You must love the Lord your God and obey all his requirements, laws, regulations, and commands. Okay. Where was I? Listen, chapter 11. I got on a roll. Chapter 11. You must love the Lord your God and obey all his requirements, laws, regulations, and commands. Listen, I am not talking now to your children. You have never experienced the discipline of the Lord your God or seen his greatness and awesome power. They weren't there to see the miraculous signs and wonders be performed in Egypt against Pharaoh and all his land. They didn't see what the Lord did to the armies of Egypt and to their horse and chariots. how he drowned them in the Red Sea as they were chasing you, and how he has kept them devastated to this very day. They didn't see how the Lord cared for you in the wilderness until you arrived here. They weren't there to see what he did in Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, a descendant of Reuben, when the earth opened up and swallowed them, along with their households and tents and every living thing that belonged to them. But you have seen all the Lord's mighty deeds with your own eyes. The blessings of obedience. Therefore, be careful to obey every command I am giving you today, so you may have strength to go in and occupy the land you are about to enter. If you obey, you will enjoy a long life in the land the Lord swore to give your ancestors and to you, their descendants, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land you are about to enter and occupy is not like the land of Egypt from which you came, where you planted your seed and dug out irrigation ditches with your foot, as in a vegetable garden. It is a land of hills and valleys with plenty of rain, a land that your Lord your God cares for. He watches over it day after day throughout the year. If you carefully obey all the commands I am giving you today, and if you love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul, and if you worship him, then he will send the rains in their proper seasons so you can harvest crops of grain, grapes for wine, and olives for olive oil. He will give you lush pasture land for your cattle to graze in, and you yourselves will have plenty to eat. Do not let your heart turn away from the Lord to worship other gods. If you do, the Lord's anger will burn against you. He will shut up the sky and hold back the rain, and harvest will fail. Then you will quickly die in that good land the Lord is now giving you. So commit yourselves completely to these words of mine. Tie them to your hands as a reminder and wear them on your forehead. Teach them to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are away on a journey, when you are lying down and when you are getting up again. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, so that as long as the sky remains above the earth, you and your children may flourish in the land the Lord swore to give your ancestors. Be careful to obey all the commands I give you. Show love to the Lord your God by walking in his ways and clinging to him. Then the Lord will drive out all the nations in your land, though they are much greater and stronger than you. Wherever you set your feet, the land will be yours. Your frontiers will stretch from the wilderness in the south to Lebanon to the north, and from the Euphrates River in the east of the Mediterranean Sea in the west. No one will be able to stand against you, for the Lord your God will send fear and dread ahead of you, as he promised you wherever you go in the whole land. Today I am giving you the choice between a blessing and a curse. You will be blessed if you obey the commands of the Lord your God that I am giving you today. You will receive a curse if you reject the commands of the Lord your God and turn from his way by worshiping foreign gods. When the Lord your God brings you into the land to possess it, you must pronounce a blessing from Mount Gerizim and a curse from Mount Ebal. These two mountains are west of the Jordan River and the land of the Canaanites who live in the Jordan Valley, near the town of Gilgal. They are located toward the west, not far from the oaks of Morah. For you are about to cross the Jordan to occupy the land your God, Lord your God, is giving you. When you are living in that land, you must be careful to obey all the laws and regulations I am giving you today. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. Have a blessed day and a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.